Hi, today's video we're going to talk about setting up groups in your Moodle course. And the way you do that is you go on the left side under the settings, and down there you'll see users, and I'm going to go ahead and click that. That will give me a few more options. And now underneath users I see groups. I'm going to click that one as well. And that will take me to a screen to look at any groups I have and set up any new ones. So here I can see online 101 groups, and I do have some groups. I have something called group 1, 2, 3, and 4. I'm going to go ahead down here and look at some of these options with you. I can create a new group, and that would mean I would manually drag the students in my class into different groups. I like the auto create groups. I have not used the import groups much, and I would recommend you experiment with these two first. So auto create groups, I will click, and Moodle gives you a couple options on the next screen. First of all, it shows you where do we get these members from. Now I call students in my class professional learners, so your class may say student, that's okay. And then I have a couple options. I can specify the number of groups or the number of members in a group. So let's say that I want to split my class into 3 groups. So I'm going to say number of groups, and I'm going to say 3. Now that means that if I had 12 students in my class, there will be 4 students in every group, because 3 groups of 4 make all 12 students. The naming scheme, I can leave this at group at. If I change this to a hash or a pound symbol like this, then it would make my groups be numbers like group 1, 2, 3, and 4, but I'll leave it at the at symbol or the and that gives the groups letters like A, B, C, D. If you click on this little question mark, it'll tell you that same thing. Now I'm going to create, not within a group, but a new grouping, and I'm going to call this class in 3 groups. Because later I want to remember what is that. So I can preview that. And here I go. I can see that these are called groups A, B, and C. It tells me the students that are in there, and it tried to make them even. You know, there wasn't, if there would have been a number that was divisible by 3, it'd be perfect, but there was 14 students, so the first 2 groups have 5, which makes 10, and the next group couldn't get up to 5. There wasn't 15 students. So, and then I need to go ahead and up to submit, and that'll create this group. And I can create a lot of different groups in my class. In fact, if I go up here to where it says groupings, it will show me the different groupings I've created. And there's one that I created earlier. That's the class in 4 groups. The one we just created was class in 3 groups. So let's see where this would be put into play. I'm going to use the breadcrumb trail to go back into my course, and I want to make one of my forums, one of my discussion forums. We'll take this first block on screencasting, and right now Make Your Own Screencast is a forum that's open to the whole class. But let's say I wanted the students to submit their screencast and then be in a smaller group so that the other members of that group could go ahead and edit or give them some feedback, reply. So we'll go into the little pencil here, and that would let me update this assignment. And we won't go into the directions too much, but we will go down to the section on the settings where it says Common Module Settings. And here's where it gets into the groupings. Right now, by default, it says no groups, but we're going to say we want separate groups. Now, separate groups would mean that if there was 4 students in a group, they would only see the other students in their group. They wouldn't see anyone else in the class, and they could only comment or reply to, in this forum, the other members of their group. If I said visible groups, they'd be able to see the other groups in the class, but they wouldn't be able to reply to them. They would just be a viewer. Only in their own group could they post a discussion topic for that group to think about or reply. So, but we'll do separate groups. We'll kind of keep them isolated in little sandboxes. Now grouping, I have to have set up groups ahead of time like I just showed you. So if I go under grouping, it'll give me the options. Here we go. I could have the grouping I created called class in 4 groups or class in 3 groups. We just created that one. So I'd go ahead and do that. And then I don't really mess with these last two. But now what'll happen is in that forum, I will only be able to add a discussion topic for my group. And so, in a nutshell, that is how you create groups and how you select it in the assignment settings.